to meet you. My name is Tsuyoshi Nonaka. I feel so happy to meet you and join of this convention. Please enjoy this time and Japanese mechanical design world. I'm working in LA from this March, but I can speak English a little. Sorry, from here. I talk only Japanese. Translate please by Mr. Karahashi. よろしくお願いします。今日の、予定は最初に今までの僕のお仕事を紹介します。
I'd like to start by showing you what I've been doing in the past.
その後、一番最近アニメのお仕事をしたこのマジンカイザースカルのデザインの、プロセスを紹介したいと思います。
And then after that, I'd like you to show you how I worked on the mechanical design from the latest anime work, Mazin Kaiser's Skull.
で少し実演なんかも兼ねたいと思っていますのでよろしくお願いします。
And I'd like to incorporate some demonstration of how I do my work. So currently, I work at a company called Plex USA.
フレックス USA は今年できたばかりの組織で、バンダイグループの中でキャラクターの企画、おもちゃの企画をやっている会社です。
And Plex USA is a new company that only got started this year. It's a new company within the Bandai group that does character and toy planning. So I started at Bandai in 1987, and so for the last 20 years I've been working in the boys' toy division. And actually, I did some work as a student back in the days for a magazine called TV Magazine, drawing Transformers art. And the Transformers might have been a bit more popular in the States than it was in Japan. When it was reintroduced in Japan, it wasn't as popular. It was quite unknown. And kids didn't really feel comfortable watching the anime. So the illustrations for this was much more un-Japanese in style. But this was a very good learning opportunity for me to learn about the printing press process as well as the merchandise business. And there's a saying in Japanese that you should pay to go through hardship when you're still young. And actually my experience as a student was very valuable when I started at Bandai.
でこれ日本の本ですけども、その当時のテレビマガジンに連載された、イラストレーションがいっぱい載っていてですね、これも自分の若かりし頃の記録としては大変ありがたいものだと思っています。
And this is a Japanese book that contains all my my illustrations from my TV magazine days, and it's a very valuable archive of what I did in my youth.
皆さんパッドリーとかコミックアーティストはご存知かと思いますけど、人たちが描いているその今風のトランスフォーマーのルーツがここにあると自分では思っています。
And you may be familiar with artists such as Pat Lee who do contemporary Transformers art. I like to think that their style can be traced back to what I did back then. And since I started at Bandai in '87, I've been doing pretty much exclusively toys for the male population. And one of my the portfolio works are for the Toei Super Sentai and Kamen Rider shows. And the very first Super Sentai show I worked on was Zyuranger in Japan, so that would be the very first generation of the Power Rangers.
僕自身日本でもこの10レンジャーはヒットしたんですけれども、なんだろう、ものすごいご褒美として世界中でのヒットがついてきてとてもハッピーでした。
And Zyurangers in Japan was pretty well received, but I had the added bonus of the Power Rangers version being popular all over the world. And so I've been involved in the designs for Super Sentai since then, but 5 years ago was the 30th anniversary of the Super Sentai series. So this is the jacket art from a CD that had just exclusively all the robot songs. And so this cover has 30-odd robots from all the shows. I doubt that anyone can name every single one of them.
他にですね、仮面ライダーもやってました。
And the other line of series that I worked on was Kamen Rider.
特に平成仮面ライダーと言われるシリーズは仮面ライダーで育った世代が一緒に作った新しいライダーでとても興味深い商品でした。
Especially the so-called Heisei Kamen Rider series is the new series that was made by all the people who grew up watching the original Kamen Rider series. And it's been over 10 years that the Heisei Kamen Rider series has been going on. In some of the series, an actual bike racing team of Kamen Rider were formed. And it was very fun that I got to actually design the motorcycle, the racing suits, and actually the so-called racing queen uniforms as part of my job. And the other line of work in my portfolio is the Soul of Chogokin, the diecast toy series. And I grew up with a great love for the giant robot anime, and it was I was very happy that I could actually do this for my work. I got started when I was 30, and this experience led to my involvement in being a makeup designer for anime production. And there was a manga series that started in 2004 that featured just the female robots from the Mazinger Z series. In this world, there is no Mazinger Z or Grandizer. It's only the female robots that exist. And I'm pretty sure that there's an English translation of the Mazinger Angel series available, and my name's in there. So if you have a chance, I'd love it if you get around to read it. Yeah. And the actual manga artist is someone called Akihiko Nina. He draws very cute female characters. And the upper left is his characters. And this is the animated show where my name was credited for the first time as a mechanical designer. It's called Dice. And this was an attempt at bringing the Japanese business model into the American market. So the characters were designed with the collaboration of Cartoon Network Broadcasting Station, Bandai, and the anime studio that actually made the film. And there are a lot of prototypes of the mecha featured in the show, but I'm sad to say that not all of them were actually available as toys. And this is from Shin Mazinger Shogeki Z10 that I worked on with the other guest at PMX, Yasuhiro Imagawa. So at the Friday panel, he and I talked about the relationship between the toy company and the anime studio. But I tried to take the viewpoint of the anime production staff more so than as someone from the toy company. So at this point, I did all the mecha designs for including the villain mecha that were not slated for merchandising as toys, and I put my efforts in there as well. So this was a 26 episode show, but some of the villain units get totaled in an instant, and so there were over 50 villain units that were designed. And after that, I continued to work on the designs for the original video series, Kaiser Skull. And I'd like to talk about what I've been doing here in the States since I moved here. And these are the designs for the new Power Ranger for this year, Power Ranger Samurai. And the upper right, Shogun Mode, has not been seen on TV yet. But toys are already on the shelves, so you may have seen it already. And the Power Ranger Samurai will continue on next year, so you'll probably see Samurai Mode Shogun Mode more so next year.
真ん中の絵についてちょっとご説明したいんですけど、
Let me talk about the center art.
これは皆さんテレビ見たことあると思うのでお分かりかと思いますが、変身するときに一回こういうプロレスラーみたいな姿に。
And you may have seen this on TV, so you may know. During their transformation, there's an intermediate step where they look like a pro wrestler.
これは本当は普通にヘルメットをかぶればいいだけなんですけれども、おもちゃで頭がこう回転して切り替わるフィギュアがあります。
And, normally, they could just to put on their helmets, but in the toy version, there's one where you can twist their head, and the face changes.
そのおもちゃを作ってる段階では役者さんが決まっていないので、また、どの肌の色か髪の色か目の色かも決まっていないので、どれにでも対応できるように同じ統一の、プロレスマスクをかぶせました。
But when we're designing the toys, we don't have the cast members set yet. So the pro wrestling mask version is an intermediate step, so that the toy could adjust to any kind of actor, despite the color of skin, the hair color, or their eye colors. So this was a convenience imposed on the toy vendor side, but Saban was very understanding, so they incorporated it into the show. And the action figure market is much larger in the States than in Japan, so there's more emphasis given and details added to the original Shinkenger design. And in Japan, this kind of details is more common with the Kamen Rider series, but I love the kind of details that was in the Power Rangers movie, so I incorporated that into the designs here. Yeah. And on to a different show, Ben 10. And the toys are already on the shelves, but these are weapons that will be showing up on the TV shows soon. And the weapons will get an upgrade after this later on, so please look forward to seeing that. But Ben 10 is not a series that's well known in Japan, so I really need to switch modes to get into the feel of working on Ben 10.
この辺のメカはもういつもパワーレンジャーとかでやっているテクニックを存分に活かせるところでした。
But this mode of work is somewhere where a place where I can fully utilize my experience from working on Power Rangers.
そして次がサンダーキャッツになりますけど。
And the next is Thundercats. This was another animated show that was never broadcast in Japan. But by sheer coincidence, I had a chance to watch videos of Thundercats when I was working, doing Transformers illustrations way back when. And I was very impressed by the work that Japanese animators did for especially the opening sequence of Thundercats. And so there's been a new Thundercats series made this year, but I had my love for the classical Thundercats, and I was very happy that I was involved in the designs for that, just like I was involved for Mazinger. And I'm pleasantly surprised that working in the States, that Thundercats was much bigger than I imagined, and that it's been a very popular series. And I have a Thundercats patch on the sleeve of my denim jacket. A lot of people say that it's cool, and I'm happy about that.
サイバトロンのマークと同じぐらい好きです。
So I like it just as much as the Cybertron logo.
とりあえず今最新こんな感じの仕事をしております。
So that's what I've been. That's the update of my latest works. Let me show you some of the Mazinger Kaiser skull design works. I first received the order for designs back in May of 2009, and these were the requests I got for the designs. And Mazinger Kaiser was originally a character that was made for video games, and it was once animated as an original video in 2001. This was released in the States as well. And but the order that came to me was that they wanted to do a completely new Mazinger Kaiser. And the story, it would be kind of hard to describe in English, but they wanted to make it a Muso-style story. Is anyone familiar with the video game Sengoku Muso?
Dynasty Warriors.
And as Dynasty Warriors, yes. And it's a video game where samurai warriors just slash and kill. And they said that they wanted to do a giant robot version of Muso. And normally Mazinger is piloted by just one pilot, but in this one it has two pilots. And each pilot has his own different way of fighting. And of course, Skull comes with the female version of a partner robot. So I got the rough design sketch from the manga artist, Go Nagai. And this is what he sent.
スケッチブックに極めてラフに描かれたスケッチでした。
So these were very rough sketches in a sketchbook.
ただ原作者の絵ですから、もう神の絵ですから。
But this is from the manga artist, from the creator, the god.
ないがしろにはできません。
So it's not something that I can treat with any kind of disrespect.
でスタッフの方とお話をして、この機体の、ドクロとそこにくっつくそのドクロのような飛行機を採用することにしました。
So we talked with the staff and decided that the forehead skull and the flight unit that would attach in the form of the skull would be kept. So this was the first draft that I submitted in July. So I'd like to do a demonstration of the difference in Mazinger style.
マジンガー Z はちょっとここから喋りながらいきますので、それはよろしくお願いし
I'll
ます。
go on as I speak.
極めてベーシカルなロボットなので、
The Mazinger Z is one of the basic forms of German robots.
また今ほど洗練されていない時代のロボット。
So it comes from a time when giant robot designs weren't as refined as they are today.
だからマジンガー Z を描くときは少し、やぼったくなるぐらい描くことが多いです。
So when I draw Mazinger Z, it tends to be a little old-fashioned in style.
胴体は太めですし、手も足も太い。
The torso tends to be more fatter, and the limbs tend to be fatter as well.
もちろんディテールはあまりありません。
And you don't draw in too much details into.
強いて言うならば、頭の部分にだけ非常に、線が多いです。
If there were any details given, that would be in the head parts.
僕は子供の時からこれをもう何百万回描いたか分かりません。
And I don't know how many times I've drawn this since I was a child.
雨の日、学校で校庭で遊べない日がありますよね。
On rainy days, you're not allowed to play in the school grounds during recess.
そうするとクラスに何人か絵の得意な子がいて、その子の周りにみんな集まったりしたりしてなかったでしょう。
And do you remember school days when on rainy days that the kids can draw? All your classmates would be gathering around the kids who can draw during recess.
雨の日僕はヒーローでした。
So on rainy days, I was the hero of the class. ちょっとすみません、足まで入りきらないというダメなことをちょっと。 And I made the mistake of not leaving room for the legs.
大体こんな感じ。
So just look at it.
これをマジンカイザーというキャラクターにちょっと変換します。
But let's arrange this into the form of Mazin Kaiser.
でマジンカイザーは非常に後からぐっと新しいロボットですので、スタイルも変わってます。
And Mazin Kaiser is much new in style, so there's a lot of updates to the design.
肩幅は広いですし、
The shoulders are broader,
全体的にすごくマッシブなロボットです。
and it just has the aura of being more massive.
頭も小さいですし、
And the head is smaller,
肩も大きいです。
and shoulders are bigger.
腰は小さい。
And the hip is smaller.
テールも全身多いです。
And there are much more details drawn into the entire
まあここではちょっと省略します。
the entire design, although I'm going to abbreviate a lot of them here.
足は大きいです。
And he has large legs.
これぐらいな感じの差があるじゃん。
So, this is the difference in style between original and updated Missing Kaizen.
後でサイン会の時はオーダーしてください。
And you can ask for a sketch during my autograph session.
他のロボットも大丈夫です。
I can do other robots too.
で、実際こんな作業を経て、僕が最初に提案したスケッチをご紹介します。
So let's go through the process between my drafts and what was okay. So they said they wanted the weapons, a weapon for Missing Kaiser, so I came up with a sword version and a gun version. And I thought it had to be an integral part of Mazinger. So one characteristic of Mazinger is the red panel on his chest. That could be his gun. And I thought his wings on his back could be his sword. At this point, he had a skull on his forehead. So all his weapons were also in the bony units. So Gona guys with designs, including Mazinger and Devilman, all have something demonic. So this was in the image of goat bone. So a skeletal form would split and become two guns.